Today's deck tech covers the OG giant normal bomb, the spawner of memes, Yes, we are talking about Yargle, Glutton of Urborg. Commenter Zelon Gray has asked for our take on a budget Yargle deck, and I am all too happy to assist because I recently pulled the new art for Yargle in March of the Machine. Yargle, Glutton of Urborg is a 5-mana 4-generic 1-black 9/3 legendary creature frog spirit. That's it. It's a big frog. And we are going to have our opponents hopping mad when they lose to this massive vanilla beater. Before we get into the deck tech, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way to supporting the channel, and with that out of the way, let's rib it up. Now, obviously, this deck lends itself very well to a Voltron strategy, which is an avenue for victory the deck can take, but we also have a few other ways to deal damage in the late game, as well as finish off opponents just out of our reach. Our creatures help pump our commander as we are looking to reach critical mass of 11. So our commander becomes a 2-hit KO or a 1 if it has double strike, as well as help with other little odd and ends with their abilities. Duty-bound Dead has Exalted, which when Yargle attacks alone will get the boost. Hateful Eidolon helps when our commander will inevitably get removed with auras on it. Crashing Drawbridge helps Yargle start swinging immediately. Plague Stinger can come down early and start pressuring our opponents with poison counters. Suspicious Bookcase helps Yargle do Yargle things without being blocked. Dwathi Trapper gives Yargle Shadow, letting them live their inky black best life. Duskfang Mentor gives Yargle lifelink and a power boost for 2 mana. Falthis Shadowcat Familiar grants Menace and Death Touch, making our frog even more of a threat. Servant of Nephrox is another exalted creature. Disciple of Bolus converts our big commander into big card draw, and with all the ways we have to bring them right back, it's usually no detriment to us. Mage Hunter helps us drain our opponents for them casting instant and sorceries. Ruthless Technomancer turns our commander into a well of mana. Shadowheart Dark Justicar is another way our commander can become card draw. Grey Merchant of Asphodel. I can't just leave Gary out in the cold like that. Tenured Inkcaster helps get some of that reach we were talking about with our creatures once they get +1/+1 counters. And Scavenged Brawler, which serves us better in the graveyard to turn one of our creatures into an absolute house. Moving into our sorceries, we have only 3. Night Haze guarantees we get in on anyone playing Swamps, but worst case scenario, we draw a card. Sign in Blood for some card draw, and Essence Harvest can drain someone for 9 or more, depending on how big our commander is at the time. Our instants pack our protection for our commander because removing him 2 times is pretty much GG. Armor of Shadows, little boosted indestructible. Dark Ritual, because the sooner we get Yargle out, the sooner we can start our opponents. Defile for some removal, Professor's Warning for either a counter or indestructible, Supernatural Stamina, Tainted Strike to take someone out unexpectedly, Undying Evil, Fake Your Own Death, Return to Action, Unexpected Fangs for more life linking, Asterion's Thirst does it all, removal and makes our commander bigger. Blood Curdle can destroy a creature and put a menace counter on Yargle. Hostile Negotiations is a great card selection, letting us go 6 cards deep and play mind games with our opponents. Necrologia draws us as many cards as we want to spend life for, and with so many things giving our Frog Spirit lifelink, we can make up for that in no time. And Trader's Clutch, another way to give Shadow, and comes with twice the activation because we can cast it for cheaper from the graveyard for its flashback cost. Next up are our artifacts, that along with ramping come with equipment to protect our sweet Froggy Prince, but also some ways to make him unblockable or just bigger. Wayfarer's Bauble, Charcoal Diamond, Cloak of the Bat gives flying and haste. Cranial Plating can very easily make our frog a One-Punch Man equivalent. Key to the City makes Yargle unblockable. Mask of Avacyn for hexproof. Mask of Memory for card draw. Mind Stone. Poet's Quill gives a small boost in lifelink. Prismatic Lens. Swiftfoot Boots, Vorak Battlehorns. With some of our other pieces that give Yargle Menace, this makes Yargle unblockable. Fire Shrieker turns 9 commander damage into 18. Haunted Cloak, a keyword soup of a cloak. Mask of Gristlebrand gives flying and lifelink, but also a sweet payoff if our opponents try to get rid of Yargle. Brass Knuckles, because what's scarier than a frog? A frog with brass knuckles. Lastly, we have Lash Wraith for an even bigger boost in power, as well as an ability to equip with Phyrexian mana. Enchantments round out the deck with even more ways to power up our commander. Demonic Vigor, Gruesome Deformity, as if he wasn't deformed enough.
You are deformed. I am deformed. And
Kaya's Ghost Form, Thrall Retainer, Vampiric Link, Agent of the Shadow Thieves does it all. Gives a counter, indestructible, and death touch, all for attacking the opponent with the most life. Fear, Necrogen Communion has the added benefit of giving Toxic, and while not as good as straight up Infect, is a nice bonus. Phyresis is what we really want. Granting Infect on an unblockable 10-3 usually means Demonic Embrace lets us cast it from the graveyard, as well as provides a nice boost in power and evasion. Minions Return. Treacherous Blessing is just for some extra card draw, but that drain shouldn't be too much of a problem with all of our life gain. And Unholy Indenture to round out our ways to protect our commander. For lands, we keep it simple. Bojuka Bog, Myriad Landscape, Rogue's Passage for even more unblockable shenanigans, and 32 Swamps. Currently the deck sits at around $23, which could go up or down depending on the quality or art of the cards you want to add. For upgrades, we can really swing for the fences. Hatred will turn our commander into a one-shot machine. Trailblazer's Boots means our commander is completely unblockable. I mean, everyone has got to play at least 1 or 2 basics, right? Colossus Hammer, because sometimes you gotta swing for the fences. Grafted Exoskeleton for even more infect fun. With all this lifelink, we should double dip that and turn it into damage with cards like Sanguine Bond, Veto Thorn of the Duskrose, or Defiant Bloodlord. And we are also in black, so we can play the best tutors like Diabolic Tutor. Scheming Symmetry works great because as long as we can draw the card we put on top, we can take out the opponent that we let search as well, essentially making it a Vampiric Tutor. Or Diabolic Intent. Well, that's the deck with some upgrades. Comment a commander you would like to see built on a budget, or a card you would add to this deck, and I will catch you in the next one.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?